When customers come into the Bell branch, I would like them to know that it's not just a place they can do their banking. They can come laugh with us, cry with us, pray with us. We want to be their friend, not just their bankers. My name is Courtney Frazier, and I'm the Bell branch manager. Happy Banking is different because our level of customer service that we offer to our customers and the personal relationships that we develop with our customers.
You let us know. Dear God, we come today thanking you for waking us up, giving us another opportunity. As we have joined together in this place, God, we ask for blessings upon this meeting. God, we ask that you grant unto the ones that will direct the affairs of this city with wisdom and knowledge. God, we ask that you grant those of us that will listen to those things, that you would give us a heart of peace, that you would also give us a mind to be able to reason and to respect those that sit in the offices that they do. God, we thank you for all of your many blessings. We give your name all the glory and all the praise. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Reverend, thank you very much. If you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission held on the third floor at City Hall this Tuesday at 3 p.m. The first item of business we'll put off for just a second because we want to recognize our city attorney, Marcus Norris. He was elected as the president of the Texas City Attorneys Association while we were at a Texas Municipal League conference down in Houston. None of us that were there knew that. He's pretty modest, and so I hope I'm not embarrassing him, but I do think it's quite an honor to have our city attorney be elected to a statewide organization. He represents the city in a stellar manner, and they recognize his talents with the Texas Municipal League and have appointed him. So, Marcus, congratulations. Thank you very much. With that, we'll go on to our business. Attached is a copy of the minutes. We'd like to get approval on the City Commission minutes from the regularly held meeting of October 18th, 2011.
Mayor, if I could, before I move for approval of the minutes, first one point of order, and that is to encourage those that hear this, pay attention to this, be sure to go out and vote. We have 10 very important constitutional amendments that are to be voted upon, and I especially favor, if I may lobby a little bit, Proposition number 2, which is the funding of $6 billion for the Texas Water Development Board, which has been so instrumental to Amarillo in our development of water tank Wilton, to be able to go into that fund and borrow money at subsidized rates, which is just very, very, very good. And they need to replenish that fund. So I would suggest voting in favor, especially of Proposition 2. So anyway, just wanted to encourage people to vote.
I also think it's just wise to encourage them. Our news media does a great job of getting these issues out, but it does take study. I talked to, I'm able to go, as a privilege, go talk to students in my role as mayor and read to them or discuss with them what we do. And many times what they say is, how did you get that job? And one of the things I point out to them is that, this is first graders and third graders primarily, but of every 10 people in Amarillo, only one goes and votes. And they really, I think, get that point, and it is a sad point. I think our media does a lot to encourage people, and Commissioner Simpson, I think it's wise for us from this stage to encourage people to go vote and understand what those issues are. The Voter League, the League of Women Voters, puts out a great guide to those things, and the newspapers put out their opinions on those. I'm sure the Amarillo Independent does the same thing. but it is very important. There's some critical issues that will affect us as cities. So thank you, Commissioner Sims.
Sir. And I would move for approval of minutes as presented.
Okay.
Second the motion.
Okay. Any corrections or changes to the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are passed with a 5-0 vote. 4-0. We're missing one person. The next item is resolution approving the Amarillo Local Government Corporation Bylaws Amendment. This resolution approves 2 amendments to the bylaws of the Amarillo Local Government Corporation. The first change amends Article 1, Section 8 to provide for committees that function in an advisory only role and that may be appointed by the President. The second change amends Article 2, Section 10 to provide that the directors may rely on both the work of consultants to the board and also that of employees, agents, and authorized consultants to the City of Amarillo. The Amarillo Local Government Corporation Board of Directors unanimously approved these changes at their October 19, 2011, and they are presented here for final City Commission approval. Are there any questions about or comments from the Commission about this resolution? Any comments from the audience about this resolution? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the resolution approving Amarillo Local Government Corporation Bylaws Amendment.
Second. Okay. So first and seconded, all those in favor of this resolution, number 2?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with a 4-0 vote. Resolution number 3 on the agenda, approving the city's participation in the North District Culture Frontage Road Project. This resolution approves the city's participation in the Texas Department of Transportation in a project to develop a frontage road on the north section of Loop 335 east of Coulter. Under the terms of this resolution, TxDOT will acquire the necessary right-of-way through donations, and the city agrees to bear 10% of the cost of right-of-way and any necessary utility adjustments. Due to the donation of the property, there's no apparent utility conflicts. There is no expected cost to the city. Are there any questions about this resolution from the Commission? Any from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that our city participate in the North Loop and Coulter Frontage Road project.
Second.
All those in favor of resolution approving this participation?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes with a 4-0 vote. Number 4, ordinance number 7299. This is a second and final reading of an ordinance changing the zoning of Block 5, Block 210, Holland Edition of Section 156, Block 2, A, B, and M Survey, Potter County, in the vicinity of Northeast 3rd Avenue and Lincoln Street, from Multifamily District 1 to Multifamily District 1 with a specific use permit, replacement of a Type A manufactured home. Are there any questions about this ordinance, the second final reading from the Commission? Any from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I will move for approval of ordinance number 7299.
I second the motion.
All those in favor of 7299 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. Ordinance number 7300. This is the second final reading of an ordinance changing the zoning of Lot 29, Block 17, Mesa Verde Edition in Section 126, Block 2, ABNM Survey, Potter County, in the vicinity of Northeast 32nd Avenue and Grand Street, from Residential District 2 to Residential District 2 with a specific use permit for placement of a carport within the front yard setback. Are there any comments from the Commission about this ordinance? Any from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 7300.
Second.
All those in favor of 7300?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 4-0 vote. The consent agenda. It's recommended the following items be approved and that the city manager be authorized to execute all documents necessary to each transaction. It consists of item A, award of medical supplies annual contract. Item B, approval of asphalt concrete annual contract. C, the purchase of fire trucks. And that's it. Are there any items that need to be removed for separate consideration by the Commission? Is there any discussion needed about these items by the Commission and by the audience? Now I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move we go ahead and consider the consent agenda for approval as presented in total.
Second.
All those in favor of the consent agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda passes with a 4-0 vote. This concludes the regularly scheduled agenda for the Amarillo City Commission. It is, however, customary at this time that we allow citizens of the community with matters pertaining to city policy, programs, or services to speak to the Commission. And the floor is now open for those comments. If anyone would like to come forward and make a comment. Thank you. Please come forward. You can state your name and address.
My name is Robin Capel, and I live at 4013 Julie, Amarillo, Texas, 79109. Papers I'd like to pass down, if that's all right. I'm the president of Texas Can Handle Pet Savers. We're a new rescue group in town, taking animals set to be euthanized at the city shelter. As a group, we've been researching programs that other communities have put in place that have drastically reduced the amount of animals killed in their city shelters. We have the programs listed for you, as discussing them would be too lengthy. We propose that the city appoints an animal advisory commission to look into these programs and determine what Amarillo Animal Control could implement to start improving their live outcome rates. Communities all over the U.S. have gotten their live outcome rate to 90% or higher. The current live outcome rate in Amarillo, Texas is 20%. However, 21% of the animals going into the shelter are not currently being accounted for by the animal control on their reports. Amarillo can do better than this. Amarillo's homeless animals deserve better than this. We discourage the thought that the current Animal Control Board could take the place of this advisory commission. We've not been able to find information that this board is an active board and that they have not met in several years. My personal experience with this was in Austin, Texas, where they were able to go from saving 33% of their homeless animals to saving 92% of their homeless animals in just 3 years. Other communities have been able to do this as well, including Richmond, Virginia, Ithaca, New York, Reno, Nevada, and Fort Worth, Texas, just to name a few. The Animal Advisory Commission can help animal control move forward with the rest of the city. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. We'll refer this to staff. I know it is a concern to all of us sitting on this commission, and we certainly will take your information. We may want to ask that we meet later on to discuss this, talk about specifics so we can deal with it. Mr. City Manager, would you have
if I could, I'd like to get to Ms. Capel.
Yes, sir.
If you don't want to give your phone number out now, but if I could get with you afterwards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
I think the Commission all agrees we have a horrible problem here, and we'd like to find some way to deal with it. So any information we can give, I think would be helpful.
We have one commissioner that probably would like to speak to this issue.
Well, of course, in the comment section, I think we have to put it. We will certainly, because the rules about open meetings, we won't get into a lively discussion, but we can in the future. We certainly would like to hear more about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there any other comments from the audience today? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward.
I've asked my lovely assistant to hand out the pages to you today.
You can state your name and your address.
My name is Mary Catherine Whittle. I live at 2218 South Washington here in Amarillo at 79109. As I stated earlier, my name is Mary Catherine Whittle. I'm a mechanical engineer at B&W Pantex. I'm a property owner, a taxpayer, and a registered voter here in Potter County. But today, I want to speak to you as an advocate for the animals. As you can see from my handouts, the first handout that I gave you is a copy of a newsletter that I put out on my own each week. I visit our Amarillo shelter on a daily basis. I take pictures of animals that need to be adopted, and I try to match up potential adopters. I do this on my own. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I do this as an individual. I do, however, foster for TPPS. I now have 2 dogs at my house, a St. Bernard and a Weimaraner, which is quite a challenge in itself. But I've gotten 5 dogs from the shelter to foster, and each of the dogs has been sick. He's either had canine influenza, they've had a kennel cough. I have a dog that I'm treating now with staph infection. I had a dog that was infested with ticks and fleas. The second handout that I gave you is pictures of some animals, and I want to tell you their stories individually, just briefly. This animal on the front of your page is a Great Dane. The Great Dane was picked up by Animal Control on September 24th. Its life was extended as we're allowed to do through Animal Control for an additional 3 days at a cost to an individual of $15. The animal was finally adopted on October 4th. On October 5th, this emaciated dog went to our city-paid vet. The vet has the option to say this dog is not in the proper condition to be spayed or neutered, but the vet did not make that call. This dog died on October 5th. The second picture in your brochure is a mama dog. She was a terrier mix. She was full-term pregnant and due at any time. This dog was brought into the shelter on October 13th. On October 14th, TPPS put a hold on this dog. We had a foster home lined up. The people were willing to take the dog in as she had puppies and to keep her until she delivered. This dog was put down the day that the foster went to pick her up. The last dog that you see is a dog that was in our facility, was denied medical treatment, was denied any kind of pain medicine at all. He suffered through his injuries from the 19th when he was placed in quarantine, and he was finally euthanized yesterday on the 24th. If I were to do any of these things in my home, you would charge me with animal abuse. So why do we allow this to happen in our city-funded shelter? Thank you.
Mr. City Manager, do you have any comment back about this?
No, Mayor, without additional information, I don't think that I could.
Ma'am, you gave an acronym there. Would you say what that was again?
TPPS is
okay.
Texas Panhandle Cat Saver.
This is part of another initiative, too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, certainly we will have further discussion about this. We'll refer it to our city manager and the staff. Obviously a concern to all of us, and we expect to I would expect that we ask you to come back and meet with us about this and talk about specifics. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Mayor, any findings from these discussions? I'd like to be brought back to the commission level.
Certainly. Absolutely. Okay. Well, it may be that we involve doctors, it may be commissioners, that you could be involved in that discussion too. Okay. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience today? If not, we will recess back to executive session from this meeting. Thank you very much for your participation. We might visit with you after the meeting for just a minute. Thank you.